Hey curl friends, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in again. Today I am answering any questions that I received from my Q&A video that I put out there. I wanted to make sure that I get to all of you guys' questions, or I have a easier way to get to all of your questions, I would say, because a lot of times you do post them on social media and it's hard sometimes trying to balance, say, full-time job, full-time mommy, full-time wife, duties, and my passion for curls. So hopefully this will alleviate a lot of the anxiety when you first start your journey and you have no clue about what to do or how to use it or whatever the case may be. So let's start with question number 1. How do I get frizz-free curls? Okay, so 2 things I found that helped me reduce the halo frizz that sat over my head. Number 1, I stopped using terry cloth towels and I instead started using microfiber towels. The reason why we do this, or I do this, is because the terry cloth towel is too rough on my hair. It causes friction, it creates frizz, and the cotton in the terry cloth towel is basically stripping my hair of moisture. So I know a lot of curlies have pretty much turned to microfiber towels as an alternate, and it has helped me reduce my frizz a lot. Number 2, second thing that I do is basically I stopped sleeping on cotton pillowcases. I only sleep on a satin pillowcase. I pineapple my hair at night. I wrap it in a silk or satin wrap, and then I go ahead and sleep in a satin pillowcase, especially because my toddler sleeps in bed with me. I sleep a little crazy. My hair can flip from here to there. So instead of having all this going on just my satin pillowcase, which was still making my hair go crazy, I keep it wrapped so it keeps it all neat in the morning. I just take it out of my wrap and for the most part it's intact. So I recommend doing that to reduce frizz. How do you cut your hair? What I ask for specifically is more volume. I ask for basically as much volume as I can get without sacrificing too much length, if that makes sense. I love the fact that my stylist, Alicia Torrance, even from the first time I went to her, she didn't chop all my hair off. She kept the length that I wanted, but instead went more layers and elevations towards the top. So in going to my stylist, just expressing to her, you know, and if that's one of your concerns, I want to keep my hair, I don't want to go get a haircut, I don't want them to cut it too short. Just explain to your stylist and work with them, show them lots of pictures and let them know, you know, just like I did with Alicia, I want as much volume, so I want my hair to go up as much as possible without sacrificing, you know, basically length. So as you can see, my hair is still pretty lengthy, but I have more layers and elevations, especially towards the top. So that's what pretty much how my hair is cut. I don't have a specific shape. I don't have a round shape, V shape, any type of shape, to be honest with you. And I've always been comfortable with my bangs sitting right over here. I don't like them right over my face. I tried the curly bangs, but I just didn't like my hair sitting right over my eyes. So I kind of always had these bangs in some type of form, even when I had them straight. So keep my bangs and lots of layers. That's how my hair is cut. How do I get big curls? Okay, so just so you guys know, my curl pattern naturally is a little bit bigger. So one thing that I do when I am, that I have shared with you guys in my other videos, is that if you want a bigger curl, one thing that I have found for me is that I smooth my products in after I rake it in. So first I rake it in, so I'm just going in there and putting the product in just through my fingers, and then I go back and I smooth it out. What that's doing is basically I'm clumping the hair together and then I scrunch it. So once I'm clumping it together, it's kind of giving it that bigger curl effect. And that's how I achieve my bigger curl. Question number 4, what's your favorite gel? Ultra defining gel or light defining gel from Devacurl? Okay, so I actually don't have a favorite. I love both. I love both differently. So the ultra defining gel, I use it when I want a more defined look. If I want a shiny, defined, big curl that day, then I'll use ultra defining gel. If I want a softer, romantic look for my curls, you know, with a little bit more volume, then I might use the light defining gel. But I don't have a favorite. I honestly love both equally. Do you use wand or rollers? No, I do not. I don't use either. I get this question so many times. People will stop me and ask, hey, what kind of barrel do you use? Or what kind of wand do you use? And to be honest with you, I don't use either. I think when I first started my curly girl journey, because my hair was not even waving at that point, I tried to buy like a perm rod set, which I never ended up using because I can't for the life of me figure out rollers. So I don't use either. How do you get so much volume, or how do you maintain your volume? All right, so as I mentioned earlier with my cut, so to get more volume, I'm on my third Diva cut. I'll have another one coming up soon. But with each cut, I ask for more layers, more elevations, and that actually is lightening up my hair at the top. The longer that your hair is, the less it's gonna be likely for you to get more volume. So I try to cut my hair into more layers every time that I do get a haircut, and that allows me to get more volume. Another thing that I've discussed with my stylist and, you know, basically obtaining that volume is that it's very important to use lightweight products and also water soluble products. So the lighter the products are, the less they weigh down on your hair. So that allows me to create even bigger hair, if that makes sense. So basically, just like with anything, the less pressure that there is on the hair strands, the bigger it goes up. So another thing that I do for volume is I do diffuse. And when I diffuse, I try to make sure that my hair is 100% dry. And then what I do is I go in and I massage my scalp upside down, and I also use a pick. So I do these things to create more volume. Why do I air dry before diffusing? Okay, so one thing that I found early in my journey is that when I was diffusing immediately when my hair was wet, especially when I had the halo frizz, it was causing a problem. I couldn't diffuse right away when my hair was immediately styled and wet, because it was causing those flyaways in my hair to go completely crazy. So I started to let the gel cast pretty much start to form, and I only let it air dry for about 30 to 45 minutes in the beginning, letting it kind of create the gel cast, and then I'll go in there and start to diffuse my hair. So that's what I found created less frizz for me, is just letting it air dry a little bit before I go in and diffuse. And why do I use 2 diffusers? All right, so you've seen, especially in one of my recent videos, I first go in with my Diffuser to dry my roots. So that's really the reason why I use 2, because the Diffuser, I really love it because it looks like a hand, so it's really easy for me to be able to get in there and dry my roots. So I mostly use my Diffuser for that reason, is to dry my roots. I use the Curly Co because I do feel that that one gives me a bigger lift and more volume, also less frizz. So I go in with my Diffuser first, dry at the root, because that's the hardest part to get to, and then I go in with my with the Curly Co, and I diffuse to get bigger hair, if that makes sense. So I hope that answered that question. You don't have to use 2 diffusers. I mean, if one works for you, that's fine. Even if you don't have either the Diffuser or Curly Co, I use the Diffuser and the Curly Co because I feel that together they both give me, you know, the look that I'm going for. What is my day-to-day routine, or what does my week look like? To be honest with you, I wash once a week. I know that's hard to believe, and I wish I honestly could do more. I wish I could do every 2 to 3 days, but because I mentioned again that my schedule is jam-packed with being a wife, mom, full-time job, curly girl, I can only do once a week, which does not help me with build-up, you know, but here's basically what it looks like. I wash my hair typically on Saturdays or Sundays. Mostly I try to do Saturday mornings. I'll wash my hair, I'll style it in my normal styling routine. I try to normally do a leave-in conditioner, a styling cream, and then a gel. That's typically what it looks like, unless you've seen that I might use one product. And I normally try out different products and different product routines, and I mix and match. But after I style, I'll pretty much let it air dry. I can go from anywhere from like 10 minutes to 45 minutes air drying, then I'll diffuse. After I diffuse, I massage my scalp, I'll pick my hair out, and that's my hair for the rest of the day. what my night routine consists of, again, as I mentioned earlier, I'll pineapple my hair, go ahead and wrap it in a silk or satin wrap, and then I'll sleep on a satin pillowcase. That's day 1. Day 2, I'll take a styling cream and I'll water it down. So I'm pretty much just taking a pump of whatever styling cream or maybe a leave-in, run it under some water, pass that over my hair, and because of my busy schedule, I'll let that dry up on my way to work. And when I get to work, then I'll scrunch my hair, I'll massage it, and if I have a pick with me, I'll go ahead and pick it out. And this is what I do from day 2, 3, 4, 5. So around day 5, then I'll wash again. And that's what my week looks like. And it kind of ties into the next question here, which is, do I shampoo versus co-wash? Which one do I use? And my answer is I use both. I actually co-wash and I shampoo. So because I mentioned about the buildup, I'll do 1 week I'll co-wash, the next week I'll shampoo using a botanical shampoo, still following the curly girl method, you know, making sure that it has safe products, no sulfates, parabens, mineral oils, any of that stuff in it. Some that I use are the tea tree shampoo from Trader Joe's. I use Shea Moisture. I use Devacurl low poo. So there's a variety of products that I use. I can list a couple, you know, in the description box down below if you're interested. And I pretty much have that routine: shampoo, co-wash, shampoo, co-wash, and then I will, of course, use a clarifying shampoo too, kind of like the Trader Joe's, the tea tree shampoo. I use that to clarify most of the time. Do I use heat? Okay, so I'll answer it this way. When I first started my curly girl journey, I was absolutely terrified of using any type of heat at all because we get scared, right? Heat has damaged our hair and we want to absolutely steer away from it. So when I first started to diffuse, I was completely diffusing with all cold air. Like, you can only imagine how long that took. But as I was watching Hyperlicia's videos, and I have to shout her out because she was my curly guru when I first started. I watched all her videos, followed all her posts, so I learned a lot from her. And I do thank her, you know, for being my curly godmother, so to speak. But basically what I learned from her is that in the beginning when I was using all just cold air, it was taking forever. It was literally taking forever for me to dry my hair. So I started to use when I use the Diffuser hand to dry my roots, I let the warm, so it's medium heat, medium speed, so you're not really using a lot of heat, and I let the heat seep into my hair, and as soon as I feel the heat, I blast it with cold air. So I'm constantly pressing that cool air button on my blow dryer. This one, I'm constantly pressing it as I'm going in and diffusing. So again, you want to have it on medium heat, medium speed. Don't get too crazy with it. And as you're feeling, or as I'm feeling the warm air seep in, I blast it with cool air. And then I'll let the button go, I let it seep in again, and then I'll blast it with cool air again. And I'm constantly doing that all throughout my diffusing routine. But I found that, again, what helps me is that I'll air dry, so I can minimize the heat used. I air dry for about 45 minutes, and then I go in and I diffuse. So now I've been able to cut my diffusing time to about 15-20 minutes, where before it took me like 45 minutes to dry my hair. Guys, thank you again for tuning in. If you have any questions that I was not able to get to or answer, please drop them in the comments down below, and I'll be more than happy to get those answered for you if I'm able to make a part 2. If you have any other questions, concerns, or you'd like to follow me on social media, I'll leave the links down below to my Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook for you guys as well. And give me any feedback, anything else that you'd like to see, absolutely, please let me know. I'll be more than happy to review that and be able to make it happen for you in the future. Thank you again for watching. I'll see you next time, curl friends. Bye.